All right, so Will, we're talking on Zoom today.
Yes, we are making feedback loops.
That's true. How much time do you spend on Zoom every day now?
Oh, as little as possible. I try. In months past, it was quite a bit more, but now pretty much only you for these feedback sessions.
Well, I'm honored, but so I spent I was in one Zoom meeting 9 to 10 this morning, and then another one 10:30 to 11, and then another one 11 to 11:30, and then I just got out of one that was 12:40 to 1:30. So I spend a lot of time in Zoom, and when you spend a lot of time in Zoom, you start thinking about various things. And so anybody who's a musician out there who's tried to jam over Zoom knows about the issues with the delay.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how long it is. Maybe in the edit we can cut in some research that shows exactly how long that is. But what we're going to do today is we're going to take advantage of that delay in a musical way. So what we're going to do is we've got Euroracks. I've got my Eurorack here in Connecticut, and you've got yours there in Colorado, right?
Yep.
And we're going to send signals back and forth to each other in a feedback loop with the goal of using Zoom as a delay unit.
Yeah.
And why are we doing this?
For fun.
Okay.
What reason do we need?
Well, I think that's a good. I mean, coming back to all this time that I'm spending on Zoom, something about taking something that has become a technology that's now part of a lot of people's daily lives and using it for musical expression. I think there's a little bit of fun to be had in that, maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. The other meetings, as great as all those other meetings you're having are, I'm sure they're not as fun as this one.
Yeah, we'll definitely get our money's worth for it. So we're going to take a quick second just to talk through what's going on either end here. And then we're going to try to play some music, bouncing things back and forth, and giving the acknowledgement that this is inspired in part by, and I hope I pronounce his name right, Jaap Vink, who's a composer who worked in the Institute of Sonology. Okay, I'm kind of going off the cuff. I hope that's right. We'll put in a correction at the bottom of the video if I got it wrong there. Who made these textures by using delays, filters, and ring modulation. So I'll start by talking about my end, and so this is sort of the ring modulation end of things. Okay, so my main idea here is I'm taking an input. This is what's coming in from over Zoom, and then I'm taking that and I'm ring modulating it. So this is multiplying signals. You ring modulate when you multiply signals. If someone wants to say, well, that's not a real ring modulator because it's not using the specific type of diodes, that's all fine. But generally, when you multiply two signals, you're ring modulating them. And then what am I multiplying it by? Well, I have a triangle wave here. And then what I'm actually doing with this is a saturator. And so this is just making that triangle wave a little bit more like a sine wave, just to give us a little bit cleaner sound with the ring modulation. And so then that goes into the multiplier here. The signal that's coming across the internet through Zoom gets multiplied by that sine wave, where I can control the frequency here. These are amplitude controls of each of those inputs. And then that signal that is ring modulated gets sent out here, and that goes to my audio interface, and that's what's getting sent over to Will. And so I'll pass it over to you to show what's going on your end.
Yeah, sure. So that signal that I receive from Simon comes out on my Zoom H3VR. Then I'm just taking a line out with a patch cable, and then I'll take it and just put it straight into Mutable Instruments ears, which can receive all sorts of inputs. And I'm using this to bring up this line level to modular level. And then what I'll do is take that output and also send it to the Dope for Wasp filter, audio in, and then I'll take the audio out, or low pass out, from the Wasp up to Make Noise Rosie, which is my final output module. And then once we get going, I can basically just find a bit of resonance in the filter. And then the final output goes into another audio interface over here, the H4n. and set my level there. And then that's what goes back to Simon, and round and around we go.
And so the interesting part here is of course, well, a couple of things. One is that sure, that signal's got to be getting compressed somewhere along the lines as it's sent to the internet. So there's all sorts of artifacts and stuff being introduced into this noisy feedback loop. But again, I send that signal to the ring modulated signal to Will. It's being delayed, right? It takes a little bit of time for it to get over to him and filtered. And then when he sends it back to me, it's delayed again. So the signal that is being ring modulated and filtered is constantly going through this delay. And so as we create this feedback loop, we should be able to make things that evolve and change over time.
Love it.
Should we give it a shot?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.